bastard hydrant!
There we go. There we are. Good evening, my darling batlings, and welcome to another one of my potentially scuffed streams, given that I was suffering from about, 25% packet loss on a test earlier, so we'll see how this goes. I'm joined tonight by Kier and Chuck.
Meow.
Hello?
And due to a vote that I held in my Discord server, we're going to be skipping the rest of Ratchet and Clank 1 because it's got kind of like a very glacial pace that tires me out very quickly, and skipping ahead to the more interesting parts of the series with Ratchet and Clank going Commando, which I just got a physical copy of today, so it all works out.
All right.
And I would like to announce that I am featured in... JKR, and Chuck are all featured in a Transformers stop-motion fan project called Transformers Earthfall, and we are going to be tentatively sometime this weekend, I'll post more updates as they come, doing a live watch-through of it with a little bit of behind-the-scenes commentary if we can manage it. I'm saving my first viewing for this stream so I can have, a pure first reaction.
I wrote and I co-wrote and edited for this series, so yeah, you will be getting a little bit of backstory behind it.
And I'm going to try and get as many of the cast members together as possible so we can have a big party with this. So stay tuned for that. But yes, without further amount ado, let us switch over to the PlayStation 2, because I'm not playing the HD remasters anymore because they're kind of shit.
By the way, fun fact, I'm not 3 or 4 or 5. I'm now 6 out of 7 for my stream streak.
Nice.
Will
Also,
it go
hello,
back to 3
RJ.
next time?
Glad to see you here. I read your message, and I am glad that you're okay with me doing a live stream of Earthfall. Where's that hydrate? Let me hydrate right now.
So I like Cold Stone's two new flavors, being the Lucky Charms for Saint Paesde.
Yeah,
Just
I just went to Portillo's for a Shamrock Shake, and man, that's really good over there. If you're in the Chicago area, definitely give that a try. That's a really good shake.
I've been to Portillo's once when I visited Chicago, and it was pretty good.
If you're ever by a Cold Stone Creamery, while I do like the Lucky Charms ice cream, I like the banana pudding a little bit more, simply because I like banana pudding more. But Lucky Charms really taste like edible Lucky Charms milk.
That's an interesting flavor.
Unlike the first Ratchet and Clank, this one supports both progressive scan and widescreen, so I don't have to fuck around too much with settings for my scaler to get this looking good.
Welcome back to Behind the Hill.
And for a little recap on what we missed with the end of Ratchet and Clank 1, Ratchet and Clank saved the day, stopped Chairman Drek, defeated Captain Quark. Quark found a new life living incognito as Steve McQuark, Gadgetron salesman.
And the wiener roast at Al's.
Oh yeah, that. And then
The Wiener roast sounds pretty cool.
There was the grand opening.
And if you haven't noticed already, Ratchet's got a new voice actor. It is James Arnold Taylor, who certain fans may know as Tidus from Final Fantasy.
My radiator core.
Ha 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 ha!
And who certain other fans may know as Johnny Test.
I
totally forgot that he played that character.
Yeah, I can't escape you for reminding me, can I?
Nope. And since Chuck has not been here for, I say has not been here. I just met him not too long ago, so he wasn't part of my group when I was doing Ratchet and Clank 1. Clank is voiced by David Kay.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Really?
Clank has always been voiced by David Kay from the beginning.
So, you need me.
Oh.
Also, that wordplay.
In another galaxy.
Yeah, it's not even wordplay. It's just getting everything wrong.
It's a tribble.
It's a Furby.
It's the worst of both.
It's a Furby tribble.
It's literally the worst of both. It's a tribble if tribbles were cannibalistic.
Dude, I love that. I love that trope. Like where they make something like adorable and it's actually like a man-eating creature. I love that trope.
Yeah, you're gonna freaking love this proto-pet.
Yeah, they call it the proto-pet because it's supposed to be sold as like a pet.
Verbal.
They mentioned this in the remake. I played the remakes on my PS5. So
The
It's been
remake
a
seems
while
to be
since
a
I played
lot
it.
of people's introduction to Ratchet and Clank, which makes sense because
You know,
the first
honestly,
three
they're
games
really
are not
fun.
readily available on PS4 and PS5 as easily. Like you can
Yeah.
play
because
the
you need to get
remasters.
premium to play the remasters.
Yeah, and the remasters aren't very good.
Ain't nobody got money for that. For premium.
Ratchet reporting. I'm on final.
If I was making the money I was making before, I would.
I mean,
I
dude,
have to
I only
agree
work.
with,
I work full
I
time
have
at
to
Home
agree
Depot.
with-
I don't make enough money for that.
I have to agree with a key part of Ratchet's design from the second game onward that one of my viewers, Dashcat, pointed out. I am so glad that they gave Ratchet shoes so you don't have to spend the whole game looking at his nasty-ass feet.
His feet, man, his feet must be stank like freaking fungus or some shit.
In the first
Also-
game, were his feet like super gross
His
looking or
feet,
something?
yeah, it's like they have talons on them.
Oh,
They look weird, mostly because it's early PS2 graphics. But
enough.
like pretty much every game after this one gives him shoes.
Oh yeah, you just reminded me too. I need to add both the long and the short ha ha on my end.
So
Also,
gunplay is
FYI,
massively improved because you can strafe. This may seem minimal, but there was no strafing in the original, and it made gunplay a nightmare.
I would imagine so. It's always nice when games do cater to strafing for stuff like that.
Just going
Like-
to reverse my camera movement controls, because otherwise it's like you press up and camera moves down, and you press left and the camera turns right. So what they call reverse
Yeah,
is
Inverted
actually
controls.
what inverted is the default, and the inverted option is regular.
What is this? Inverted controls?
Hey, we always welcome DBZ abridged references.
I love DBZ Abridged. It's
Oh,
what
same
got
here.
me into Dragon Ball.
Did you see,
I would not be a Dragon Ball fan if I didn't watch
Did you see
those.
the first episode of their GT watch through that they came out with this weekend?
I haven't watched it yet. No, I haven't. And I don't know I couldn't watch the. I don't know. Just I tried watching the Boo Bits creator commentary. I kind of got bored by it because I don't know. They weren't like they went into like a whole 20-minute thing. Like at the beginning, like I understood why they were talking about Toriyama because he just passed away, and I respect that. But like after that, they just weren't really. I don't know. It just like I already like listened to some commentary that they had about it during the regular commentary for when they were doing the rest of the stuff. I reheard the same things over and over again because they had mentioned it in their regular creator commentary. So I just maybe I'll go back and watch it later.
My favorite Boo bit thing was when Videl was like, "Hey, aren't you like an alien that can dodge bullets and stuff?" Yeah. And then it goes back to that scene where she does the leg thing. Like, why? Oh, no reason.
By the way, I looked up the voice cast, and even though it sounds like you may think, without getting into spoilers, but Kira already knows how this plays out, obviously.
Yeah.
You may think that the thief's voice is just like their true identity's voice actor with a filter over it. But no, they actually have a separate voice actor for the thief disguise. And
For the
it's
what?
Squidward from SpongeBob.
Wait, what? I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's
that.
Roger Bumpus.
Wait, what?
The villain that just escaped with the Protopet. That's Roger Bumpus from SpongeBob.
No way.
Yeah.
That's Roger Bumpus?
Yeah, you may
Dude.
only know him as Squidward, but that shows that he's got some range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I haven't heard him in much else than SpongeBob. I know
Same
that he's
here.
been in other things, but I haven't heard him in anything else.
If you like, would you like me to look up his IMDb?
IMDb? Yeah, sure.
Or behind the voice actor?
Yeah. Go ahead and take a look at it. Tell us what he's been
Also,
in.
our
Maybe I'll be surprised.
I love Thugs for Less in this game. They're like, hitmen and mercenaries and just general ne'er-do-wells, but they have some of the best working conditions.
Is that the name of the company that they work for?
Thugs for Less? Thugs for Less is like an
Dude.
organization that does like contract mercenary work for villains.
Dude,
And their
that's
leader is voiced by Steve Blum.
that's
Like
great.
when I say they have some of the best
I
working
love that
conditions,
name.
it's like their boss is like he sounds like he would be, a gruff like bad boss type, but like he takes people
But he's
out,
actually
he
a
takes
good guy.
He takes his employees out on company picnics for bonding exercises. He rewards particularly good teams with pizza parties. When someone misbehaves, he doesn't attack them or anything like that. He just tells them that they're getting written up.
That's hilarious. I love that.
No.
That is like that totally subverts the whole villain trope. I like it
Yeah.
when things are done cleverly like that.
Yeah, the early Ratchet and Clank games have a lot of satire of like business culture and pop culture of the 2000s in them. Like one of the villains of the third Ratchet and Clank game is a Britney Spears parody.
Oh no.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip the SpongeBob stuff because even he does additional voices and that type of stuff.
I know he does.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
okay,
plays
for
like
Crypto Luigi.
Speaking of capitalism, Crypto Luigi. Crypto Luigi, you're struggling there, Crypto Luigi.
Oh, there we go.
Digital catch me on the way up, the glow up is visible. Couple more. Watch mine go up, it's about to go nuts. It's about to go nuts. Now I'm getting paid, running cash with Alice Earth. Alice Earth.
And in 12,000 years, it'll be $1. Okay, but in Invader Zim Enter the Florpus, he was Professor Membrane, basically the father.
Nice.
I never watched Invader Zim, so I don't know. I just
No
I guess
problem.
I wouldn't have known that.
He was Dr. Light in both Lego DC Supervillains and in Teen Titans Go.
In Dr. Light in Lego DC Supervillains?
As
Yeah.
in the
Really?
DC character Dr. Light, not the
Yeah, I know.
Dr. Light.
No, I know. I know who he is. He's the guy that Raven kept
Yeah.
attacking all the time in Teen Titans.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
in the video game 2005, he was Dr. Light. So I think he might have been Dr.
So that
Light
means
also
he was
in the
probably
original.
also Dr.
Yes,
Light
he
in
is.
the original. Yes.
Yeah, I confirmed.
That
yes.
was Roger Bumpus?
Yes,
Yeah.
I know, crazy, right?
I thought that was Jeff Bennett. I thought that was Jeff Bennett.
No, also Chalk Zone, he was the Biclops.
Oh, cool.
Chalk Zone?
God, Chalk Zone. That's something
Yeah.
I haven't heard in a long time.
It's a
What
Nickelodeon
is
thing.
that?
Basically,
It was
there was
a
Magic
it was a
Chalk.
Nicktoon. It was a Nickelodeon series from the early 2000s about the central premise was like there's a world inside chalkboards where like everything you draw on a chalkboard in a race gets put into that world as like a living creature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
by the
actually
way-
really creative. I do recommend
By the way,
it.
audience, I'm the baby of this whole group. I'm like the youngest one. So if I don't get things, please don't be mad at me.
Throw your wrench. Hold
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, I highly recommend Chalk Zone. It's an attention grabber.
Okay, I'll definitely try to find it and
Okay.
give it a watch. Is it on Paramount Plus?
It's probably on Paramount Plus. I would be
Probably.
surprised if it wasn't.
What's new, Scooby Doo? Just one of those random characters. Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen 2. He was Magnus.
I'm not too familiar with
Wow.
the Legacy of Kain franchise.
Not too familiar, but I know some of it.
I've never heard of it.
Legacy of Kain
Oh,
was
so-
a video game franchise from like the mid 90s to early 2000s that's just kind of
Okay.
been stuck in limbo for a while because like a series of buyouts and mergers and company sales that's led to like no one from the original development staff being left,
more enemies to increase it further.
I gotcha.
and apparently it ended
Oh,
on a massive cliffhanger.
I got an old one for you guys. A Bug's Life, Harry Mosquito.
I'm aware.
No way. He played that character?
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. I was wondering why that guy's voice sounded so familiar. It's the guy that's like, it's like, give me a blood bubble. Oh, positive.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Exactly.
Timo says, Legacy of Kain is all about vampires, according to Timo.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I played it on Dreamcast.
And,
It's
Cloud,
not bad.
do we have an ETA on when that Murasaki figure is coming out? Because I've been eyeing it for a while, but I don't know where like the release dates for these things are announced. I want that Murasaki nurse figure, partly because it's Murasaki as a sexy nurse, and partly because there's so little merchandise of Murasaki that I have to own as much of it as possible.
Okay,
Only-
I have a
okay,
rapid fire.
So no news on that front.
Interrupt messages. Pause.
So I have a rapid fire stuff. So oh yeah, cartoons. He was in Cat Dog, Angry Beavers, Timon and Pumbaa.
I
Carmen
never
Sandiego?
watched either of those. So, well,
They
Cat
were
Dog I
probably
watched a little
little
bit
bit
of.
before your time. Angry Beavers
Oh my
was
God.
like mid-90s, and Cat Dog was 98 to 2000, I believe.
Oh my
Yeah,
god! Oh my god!
I
oh my god,
watched
oh my god.
reruns of Cat Dog.
Yeah,
I
it got
never
rerun
watched it when
pretty
it was brand new.
Cat Dog got rerun pretty frequently after it ended on both Nickelodeon and on Nicktoons.
Yeah,
Because it was like their big show right before SpongeBob came out.
yeah. And
I-
Rocco's Modern Life was SpongeBob before SpongeBob, is what I
Yeah, I don't see Rocco's Modern Life on here though, but I see some that got me super excited.
Like what?
Batman the Animated Series, he was Hoffman. Bonkers was another one of my favorites. Grumbles. Rugrats, he was Uncle Freddy. Tiny Toons Adventures, Ronald Grump. Wait, oh my god, I finally get it like 30 years later. Like 34 years later, I finally get the joke.
Ronald Grump? Oh,
Yes,
Donald
Tiny
Trump.
Toon Adventures, yeah.
Okay.
Tailspin, that has me really excited, and also
Oh.
the real Ghostbusters.
Wait, he was in Tailspin?
Yeah, Dr. Oxalado and Alligator Police Officer.
Huh.
And I'm just trying to do the ones that are, Office Depot, Pointy Haired Boss. I think that's interesting
So
enough.
the pointy-haired boss from Dilbert in an Office Depot ad.
Yeah.
The
And
dialogue
Digital Voices is just a bunch of stuff like Spirited Away, Lilo and Stitch, Emperor's New Groove,
Oh,
We
he
don't
was
need to go into the
Spirited Away.
details.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he was in that movie.
Yeah, it was just additional voices, which he's credited as. They don't
Yep.
go into. Wait, quit for Camelot. What? Okay. And
I
Iron
found out
Giant.
something
Yo.
interesting about the. I found out something interesting about the German dub of Quest for Camelot.
Oh.
The main girl from Quest for Camelot in the German version was voiced by Nena, the singer of 99 Luftballons.
I love that song. Like, I really do love that song. But seriously, you have to think about it. Like, that's impressive, isn't it?
I find it impressive that one of the most recent things we've gotten on Nintendo Switch Game Boy games online is the fucking Quest for Camelot game, of all things.
I played a little bit of it.
Like, I know why they did it. It's because Nintendo published that game for the Game Boy Color. It was a weird practice they had at the time of, like, when there were Game Boy Color exclusives that, like, for one reason or another, other companies didn't want to publish, Nintendo would publish them for them. They also published the Little Mermaid 2 pinball game for Game Boy Color.
I didn't know about that one. But
I
yeah,
mean,
now
Nintendo still kind of
now.
does that today. They published the DC Superhero Girls game.
But yeah, I kind of want to watch Tailspin and Bonkers right now.
They're on Disney
hearing
Plus.
that.
They're on what?
I'm poor.
Disney Plus. I mean, they're Disney shows, so of course they're on Disney Plus.
Fair enough.
I say that like inherently all Disney shows are on Disney Plus. Like, you know, they're not totally ignoring the existence of Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
Dude, I know. I was so pissed when I like looked for that on Disney Plus and I couldn't find it.
As
It's
well
like,
as ignoring, like,
come on.
90% of their 2000s shows. Like, pretty much
But-
everything that aired on Disney Channel in the 2000s is not on there.
I do
Yeah,
want
like
to say
Pepper Ann,
that,
right?
I do want to say that show does have a lot of really, really inappropriate jokes in it. So
Yeah.
I can
And-
see why they don't want to think.
Well,
that
the reason they don't want to is
wanna-
because it was made without Pixar's involvement, and Pixar's never liked it.
It was decent though, but I can understand.
None of the original creators that worked on that movie are there, except for I think Pete Docter. I think that he's the
Yeah.
only one that's.
We know
still
John
at
Lasseter's
Pixar
not
now.
there anymore.
I know. But, I honestly, like, I don't know. I don't think he should have been. Well, I don't know. I don't know enough about
You
what
make
was
me
going
jump,
on behind.
Frodo. What's up?
I don't know what was going on behind the scenes. Maybe there were some bad things happening, but I don't know. From what I heard, all it was just they used a hugger, and that's it. I
mean,
I didn't hear anything else. I don't know what else might have happened behind the scenes. And people in Hollywood are weird anyway, so if he got fired for a good reason, good on them. But you have to admit that the quality of Disney Pixar movies has tanked since he left.
Yeah, but he's also tried making movies outside of Pixar, and they haven't been good either, so it's not like he was the glue holding everything together.
Fair enough. But also, like, a majority of the people that worked on those movies with him also left after he left. So
Yeah,
maybe
like,
that's the reason why.
like the
maybe that's
like the
the
thing
reason
that
why.
a lot of like I feel like a lot of people give John Lasseter a bit too much credit for the quality of like early to midlife Pixar, because he only ever directed like 2 movies during his tenure at Pixar. He was
Really?
Yeah, it was just the original Toy Story and A Bug's Life.
That's it?
New missions.
Yeah,
Really? And he was
everything else
just-
was everything
Oh, yeah,
else
he was just a
directed by
producer.
others.
Then press X
Yeah.
to open the
Yeah, he was just a producer on everything else.
So yeah, the
And
funny
he also
thing
had
is,
a little bit of story writing credit in there too. But
Yeah, he did like story writing credit, but he wasn't like, intensely involved with production for most of his time at Pixar. He was
So, yeah, I
more of
think I
like
hit in this-
managerial position.
I think I hit I think I hit a nostalgia bomb for JKR
All right,
Tailspin.
I'll hydrate again.
But yeah, JKR, me and you need to have a little Tailspin marathon, I think.
By the way, Cloud, you'll
'Cause
be
you
happy
already-
to
I'd join
hear
you
that,
guys. I loved that show when I was a kid.
Oh,
I've
same
never
here. The
seen
opening
it. I
theme
did not
song
grow
too.
up watching a lot of like classic Disney stuff. My Disney watching period was like 2000s when they were getting into making like tween sitcoms and spin-offs of their animated movies. Stuff like
My
Lilo and
Disney-
Stitch the series, Dave the Barbarian.
Oh, I like Stitch the
I
series
love
also.
Dave the Barbarian. That show does not get enough love.
By the way,
Dave the
so
Barbarian
fun.
is not currently on. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Now that it shows up, weapons level up, so weapons do not immediately get outclassed like they do in the original. So they're, they get better, but they only level up once on your first playthrough. Once you do challenge mode, you can unlock mega and ultra variants of weapons.
yeah, by the way, Chuck, I have a question to ask you.
What?
Hey, I forgot.
Okay.
I had a brain fart. I had a brain fart.
But yes,
Oh,
Cloud, you'll be happy
my-
to hear
my era-
that I picked up my first serving of Gamer Sups, and it's actually the best tasting of the Gamer slop energy drinks that I've had so far.
Really?
Yeah, I picked up their Grenadier grape flavor, and it's actually really good. And it's
I heard great.
you get more servings for the price than you do with G Fuel or Advanced GG. Like
Really?
I got a 60 serving jar for like $30.
I never tried G Fuel or anything like that before.
G Fuel
so-
has kind of like a nasty aftertaste to it.
If you get the cans, not so much.
And Advanced GG is way too expensive for how little they give you. And the one flavor I tried didn't even taste like it was supposed to. It was supposed to be a cherry ice flavors, tasting like a cherry Slurpee. It didn't taste like that. It tasted like citrus. Like I may not be a fruitologist, but I'm pretty sure cherry is not a citrus fruit.
It was crossbred. They didn't use purebred cherries.
because it's called cherry citrus.
No, it's not
Okay.
supposed to be citrus.
It just tastes like it's citrusy
It tasted
as well
like
as
lemon
being
or
cherry.
lime or something, but it was still red in color.
Maybe a blood orange or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Like it had cherry in the name, but it tasted nothing like any cherry flavor I've ever had.
Oh,
And it was
maybe it was mislabeled.
I don't know. What I do know is I spent way too much on it because it was only like 30 servings for $45.
Ugh. That's
Yeah, if it's that, then it better taste like gold or
And
something.
it took
I don't know.
forever for them to get off their asses and ship it. Like, it took 2 weeks to get here because it just sat in their warehouse waiting to be shipped.
Have you guys ever watched Jake Long American Dragon?
Oh,
Yes.
I love that.
That's another good
Dude.
Dante Bosco thing.
Yeah, it really is, and that's that was where I actually got introduced to Dante Bosco's work. I was
Yeah,
like,
it was that
I
and
wanna say,
Avatar that introduced me
7?
to him.
I think it
Chuck,
was
I just
7 when
remembered.
that show came out. Yeah,
I was in
sure.
middle
What?
school when it came out, and Like, what I remember is that, like, there was a lot of controversy between fans of Jake Long and fans of a suspiciously similar Cartoon Network
Juniper
show
Lee.
that came out at the same time called Life and Times of Juniper Lee, where, like, they had very similar premises, but the two creators of both shows were not aware of each other's shows being in development.
Kind of
So
funny.
it's like a weird
but,
case of two people basically making the same show for rival networks. Like, it's about an Asian American teenager who fights against an unseen mystical world and has an annoying younger sibling and a talking dog, and is mentored by a grandfather or grandmother.
Yeah, I never watched that show. I only ever watched
Jake Long. The thing is, Jake
American
Long
Dragon.
has a lot of nostalgic appeal to it. No one gave a shit about Juniper Lee at the time.
Yeah.
How many seasons did that show get, by the way?
Juniper Lee, like 1 or 2.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell
I think
the way that kids networks at the time did their seasons is that rather than airing like one season a year like a lot of networks do now, they would like air batches of episodes across 1 or 2 years to make it feel like the show went on longer.
Yeah.
Like,
But
it was shocking to me to find out that Jimmy Neutron only had 4 seasons.
it did.
Yeah, it's just
I
that
know,
they
it's for, like,
spread it out
12.
across
I
like
could've
6 or 7 years.
Yeah, I could have sworn that show had like 8 seasons.
Press circle to move those
Like, I thought that show went on for years.
It did go on for years. It's just because they only had like 4 seasons and they only aired like batches of episodes per year.
How many episodes did that show have, by the way?
I mean, typically with kids shows of the era, it's not like this anymore, but they would get to around like the 60 episode mark before they would end every show, because once you hit around 60 something episodes, you're good for syndicating the show.
Sorry.
Like,
go
SpongeBob
ahead,
was an
sorry.
outlier of its era where it went on longer.
It still
than the
is,
typical
dude.
kid
It's
show
still
length.
going on now.
I know, but it's way more common nowadays for kid shows to last more than just like 60 episodes.
Tell that to Transformers.
But yeah, I
Transformers
remember
is
when I
more
was
so a
not.
problem of like Hasbro seems to think no, every show can only last 3 seasons. It needs to
I
be
hate
3.
that so
it's
much.
always 3. Never 4, always 3.
Well, technically, Cyberverse kind of broke that because
Kind
so
of,
did
but wasn't it
Rescue
only
Bots.
like wasn't it a really short season?
Season 4. Yeah. Technically, it was a pretty short season
Oh, Code Lyoko, yeah.
because it only had like 2 1-hour-long episodes. Yeah, and it just finished off the entire series.
But yeah, Chuck, I just remembered it. How do you make a megaphone out in the jungle?
What?
Thinking quickly, Dave creates a megaphone using only a squirrel, some string, and a megaphone.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god!
It's from Dave the
Proto.
Barbarian.
Oh, dude, I haven't watched that show in so long. I don't remember most of the jokes from it, but I remember just dying like I watched a couple of episodes on YouTube recently, like within the last couple of years, but they weren't like full episodes. They were just like
Yeah, it's because
5-minute
Disney hasn't
clips.
given like a good home release to Dave the Barbarian. They're kind of trying to bury it.
ooh, it's so sad because the show is so good. It's
The
so-
interesting thing about it
it's
is
so
that they apparently
stupid.
never officially canceled it. They just stopped showing it.
I know.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of docu videos on it on YouTube saying that they never officially canceled it. It's just been on hiatus since like 2004.
It'll come
So-
back eventually.
But yeah,
I hope it does. I hope it does.
It'll cut it. The new season of Dave the Barbarian will come out the same day as Half-Life 3 and Mega Man Legends 3.
I said.
and,
And if it was a couple of years ago, it will come out when season 3 of Konosuba comes out. But now that actually is happening, so that
It'll
new
come out
season
the
of
same
Air
day
Gear.
as the next season of Dragon Ball Super. I just made myself sad.
Made me sad too.
dude, Super, like, everyone gives that show crap, but I honestly like it. It's really good.
Selected rarity.
Like,
There are
once
parts
you
of
get
it that
once
aren't
you get
good.
past the slog that is the opening 2 story arcs, it starts getting interesting.
Yes, I agree. Like, once you get past the Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, yeah, it's so much. It actually does become interesting.
Like a lot of the
the,
complaints I've seen people have with Super isn't necessarily like the quality of the show itself. It's more so just it not being what they wanted it to be.
And I don't have that bias because I didn't grow up watching it. Literally started watching it when I was 16, and that was like 2011. Yeah, 2011. I literally started watching it then because of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. That was my introduction to the series, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. And then I watched like the first. I want to say. I watched the first arc of Z all the way through, like all the way up until Goku is in the hospital, and then I stopped watching the
Oh,
series.
Saiyan Saga.
Kai is probably
the
a
Saiyan
better
Saga.
modern way to experience the Dragon Ball Z story because
I've heard that
not
that's like
just-
the worst way too, though. That's
like
what
the people
everyone
that
says.
say the people that say it's the worst way to are people that like the filler of the original.
Oh, okay,
Because
fair enough.
because Kai is a re-edit of Z that's trying to follow the manga's pacing more.
Yeah, so as someone who is a fan of the original, Kai is a lot more friendly.
Kai's a lot more
Okay.
friendly to newcomers. The original is a good way to watch the show if you could stomach like 40-something episodes of filler in a row.
Yeah,
Dude,
5 minutes, the planet's gonna blow up 30 years later.
Dude, I
Do you
watched.
even know?
I watched One Piece, so like I'm very
But One Piece
very
doesn't have
acquainted
filler.
with. That's bull crap. That is.
Everyone says that
crap.
One Piece doesn't have filler because everything leads to something.
It's filler.
No, there are filler arcs in there. There are filler
Yeah.
arcs.
If you want to know who's really bad
They're
with
like
filler,
2 episodes. They're like literally 2 episode filler arcs in the series, and then there are filler arcs that do lead to things, but most of the filler arcs that lead to things are actually okay. Like I honestly do think that there are some, like, the filler arcs that don't matter are usually like 1 episode or 2 episode arcs, and then they're finished with it.
Like to give you
like the
to
stuff that
give
you
you
don't
context
need
for
to watch.
To give you
Yeah.
context for just how much filler is in the original Dragon Ball Z, you know, in the Saiyan Saga, that entire, like, it was something like 20 episodes of cutting back and forth between Goku on Snake Way and Gohan training out in the wild.
Yeah.
That is not in Kai. That was made up for the anime because the manga was
They
still
needed-
being written concurrently with the anime, and the Toei had a policy of like, okay, not only are we going to do filler, we're going to adapt 1 chapter per episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So there
so
was
glad
filler
that Anime
within
Studios.
episodes. There were filler
I'm so
within
glad that-
episodes, so they could
Yeah.
pad out the length of 1 chapter's worth of material to a 22-minute time slot.
Yeah, not only that, you can also look at the fight with Frieza and Goku.
Yeah, the fight with Frieza is infamous. Because, like,
It's also
Frieza-
good.
Frieza says it's going to go on for, says that the planet's going to blow up in 5 minutes. But the actual fight, not counting cutaways to other bullshit going on at the same time, lasts
like
for like
20, 40.
lasts for like 3 hours.
Yeah. And they just
It's-
keep
it's-
cutting
it's
back to
basically,
the same scene over and
5
over
minutes
again.
in Mars.
They also cut down, like, when I say cutting down on filler, it's not just like cutting out filler episodes. They also cut out on mid-episode filler and like cut down on like overly long transformation and powering up sequences and stuff like that.
Hey, Christo. We got a first time
Christo,
chatter.
hello, glad to see a newbie here. Yeah, we're just getting started pretty much on Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. Just picked this up today. I've played it before, but I am glad to be experiencing it the way that Insomniac intended, which is playing it on a PS2 rather than those kind of mediocre to terrible remasters on PS3. Thankfully, Ratchet and Clank games don't go for too much on the secondhand market, so you can get these pretty cheap.
Yep.
It's not like GameCube collecting. Dear God.
Oh, God. I still want to play. I wish I had an original copy of Gale of Darkness, but forget that. Oh. I'm not selling a right kidney just to get a game.
Yeah. Well, you do have that action replay that I sent you, right?
Yeah.
You can use that and some homebrew software to play games off of SD cards.
I mean, I can just also play. I got that. I can also play it on the.
Yeah, you could just play it on Dolphin, too.
Yeah.
Like, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company aren't going to re-release Gale of Darkness, so why pay for something they're not going to see a cent from?
Mm-hmm.
That's my stance on like emulating games, is like, if it's not in print anymore and it's not currently available in some easily attainable form on official sources, then go ahead, go with the emulation route. If it's easy enough to get an actual copy without breaking the bank, or like an updated re-release without breaking the bank, then support the official release.
Yeah.
You know,
You can hit the slot
remember
machines
back-
and win stuff? Yes, you can. I figured that out by accident on my first playthrough.
You know,
a
it took
game
me
that
all
I
of my
really
eighth
want to
playthrough
try
real.
out. A game that I really want to try out. If I could ever find it and then get a PS2, is the Transformers Armada game.
I have that.
Oh, yeah. The Armada game is really fucking hard.
Oh, it's fun though.
I've seen playthroughs of people playing it.
It's also
there's
got
so much
probably the
ragdolling in that game.
It's also probably the best Unicron fight we've had in a Transformers game, even though we
Yeah,
know
that
Transformers.
Unicron fight, I've never beaten it. I rented it.
I
never
could
beaten
never beat that game legit as a kid, so I always used a cheat code to unlock every level and every minicon, and then just skip straight to the Unicron fight.
I played the full thing. I literally got everything. I just could not beat Unicron.
All right, let's see what we get. All right, we got some bolts. Yeah, I love that you can hit the slot machines, even though they seem like just a background detail, and actually get rewards from them.
Old PlayStation 2 stuff.
Speaking of the Transformers Armada PS2 game, my writer, who's currently now the director, because I handed over directing reins to him, because he was already pretty much running the show anyways, of the Abridged series I do, Transformers Armada Bridge.
Oh, so that was your series to begin with?
Yes, I started it, and I handed the reins over to Cringivore because he was already pretty much running the whole ship on his own, and I was just voice acting and editing, and like approving scripts that he was pitching to me.
Yeah,
But,
JKR mentioned that one of his friends started it, and that he
Yeah,
gave
that
it
was
over
me.
to somebody else. He didn't say who it was, so
Yeah, it was me
Yeah,
that started
I'm
it.
also in it.
Yeah, he's also in it. He voices Carlos.
Yep.
He voices Carlos, and he's
dude.
going to be voicing Smokescreen.
Mhm.
Once we get to
Holy
Smokescreen's episode.
frijoles!
Holy fioles!
And
Dude, I love that old Ocean dub. It's so funny.
but I bring that up because Cringivore threw in a subtle reference to the PS2 game in the in episode 5, the episode where they go to Antarctica. Like,
because they go to Antarctica in the game, right?
Yeah, second
Yeah.
level.
Yeah, second level is Antarctica, and you run into Starscream there, who's like the level
Not
is
voiced
like
by
an
Michael Dobson.
not voiced by Michael Dobson this time. Instead, voiced by like some Australian rock guitarist.
Really?
Yeah, like half the cast of Armada is not even in the Armada game.
Is the voice actor for Hotshot in that game, or
Nope.
is it somebody else?
It's someone else, and Red Alert is voiced by Darren Norris.
Dude, that's Darren Norris?
Yeah. In the
I have
PS2
to-
game only.
I really liked his voice in the show, but like Darren Norris as Red Alert, I need to go back and listen to
in
it.
the show, it's someone else, but in the PS2 game, it's Darren Norris.
Okay. Well, I know that it's somebody else in the show because like that obviously did not sound like Darren Norris.
Yeah,
the
but,
original voice actor.
I bring that up because, like, given the setting of the episode, Cringivore threw in a couple subtle references. I completely screwed myself out getting that gold.
You can get it later when you get
yeah, I can
Clank.
get it later once I pick up Clank. But he threw in a couple subtle references to level 2 of the PS2 game. The level in the PS2 game is a human research center that the Cybertronians come across. And there's a part where, like, Starscream needs to come up with an excuse to branch off from the Decepticons and go look for the Minicon on his own. And he's like, I think I see a human research center somewhere over there. I'll go check. And the other one is, like, when he's engaging the Autobots in battle, he says, now prepare for extermination! Which is what Starscream says in the cutscene before his boss fight.
Did you fight Starscream twice? I think, like at the like a Mayan-type temple.
Yeah, you fight him
Or is that
twice in the game.
Cyclonus?
But,
Dude,
Okay.
that
you fight
version of
Starscream
Starscream
twice.
is my absolute favorite design of Starscream overall. It's
Hey, we were fangirling about that last time.
I know, dude. I can't help it. I love that design. It's just so different, but also the
So
same.
clean, right?
Yeah, it is a much cleaner version of his G1 design, and
Yeah.
that's why I like it so much. Even though he's literally got like 2 like logs on his back, but still,
Yeah, I've
like,
got.
I love the legacy
thanks to,
figure because it fixes that.
Thanks to the legacy figure, I now have almost every version of Armada Starscream. Because
Oh, you have it?
I also picked up the original Armada Starscream years ago on eBay, in complete condition.
Oh, speaking of that, I already told Arikado about this, but I just picked up Armada Jetfire recently.
Ooh.
Oh
from
yeah,
a friend.
Kier's also going to be voicing Jetfire.
Ooh.
Like before Cringivore took over, I came up with like a story bible for Armada Bridged, so we could have like the story arc planned out and how the characters are going to be written, and he's adhering to that. And the concept I have for Jetfire is that he is a space shuttle, like he got caught in a time warp and ended up on Earth in the 90s and scanned a space shuttle in the 90s and also picked up, like, he talks entirely in 90s surfer lingo.
Whoa.
Because
Whoa,
he's
dude.
been here since the 90s.
Like that.
More
That's
like the
Okay,
Ninja
that's
Turtles. Like Michelangelo in
Radical,
particular.
dude.
Radical,
Yeah.
dude. Oh,
Totally tubular.
oh. Totally righteous.
Oh, that's good.
I had to throw that in there. I love Barnyard. those twins were the funniest thing about that movie.
Oh, if we
I've
ever
never
end up
seen
playing
Barnyard, but my only exposure to Barnyard is that one meme of Dr. Pig where it says, I diagnose you with dead.
Oh, I
I
need to
think that's for the
make
show. I think that's
I
for the
need-
show.
I need to make that an alert. Not an alert, but sound clip.
Oh,
Like
man.
it's Dr. Pig photoshopped into a background from Fist of the North Star, and instead of saying you're already dead, it's I diagnose you with
I
dead.
diagnoses you with death. Yeah.
Oh, I
Diagnose you with death.
I freaking love Fist of the North Star. In case you didn't know.
I've never watched it. I've only seen the memes about it.
I haven't seen the actual show, but I've seen. I actually have the VHS tapes of the movie, and I've watched most of Fist King Roa when it showed on the Anime Network, and I
Fist King Ra was a spin-off.
Yeah, I
focusing on
freaking
one
love
of the
it.
other characters.
Basically, can't think of his actual Roa. He actually fights him in the movie, and it's a badass fight.
I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I kind of want to get back to that Transformers Armada Bridge series. Like,
Yeah.
you guys said that you've got like a couple of voice actor.
Yeah, we have a
slots
couple
open.
roles that are currently not filled due to the people we had before playing those roles either dropping out or just disappearing from the internet. But they're characters that don't show up for a good while.
I don't, dude. I would love to be part of it. I don't care how long I have to wait. I would love to try it out at least, because obviously the guys
I'll
gotta
let
give
you
me
know
his
when we're
okay.
doing tryouts for those roles, because I'd like to, like me and Cringivore have said that we'd like to worry about filling those roles when those characters come up, instead of just having people sitting there not having anything
Just
to
waiting
do.
for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
But stuff like Blur, Thrust is a big one.
What is Blur supposed to be like?
Okay, Blur's characterization is that, like, it's taking his sort of, like, lone wolf mercenary thing and amping it up to 11, where he's, like, the edgiest edgy boy who ever lived.
That's what you meant, Blur.
I am Blur. I live by my... I work on my own. I don't work with anyone else.
Yeah,
Like, kind of something like that.
Something like that. Basically making him the internet's interpretation of what Shadow the Hedgehog is.
Oh, Al the Edge.
Oh,
Yes.
I am Edge. The edgiest of all edge.
Okay.
And we're going to need. We're going to be holding
probably
way
pull that
later.
off.
We're going to be holding auditions for Unicron because we have a very specific idea for him that I'm not going to spoil on
What do you
stream.
have? What do you have for him?
I'm not going to spoil it on stream because that would spoil the gag with Unicron.
Okay, so yeah, you can tell me after we're done with the stream then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been like, I love Armada's interpretation of Unicron. It's like the voice is so menacing. It's
Yeah.
like it like out of all the Unicron voices, I think that like, well, obviously Orson Welles is always going to be the GOAT because he literally pioneered the character. But like
not only
I never saw
the thing
animation.
about Orson Welles is that he was basically on his deathbed when he did that.
I
role.
know.
Hold on. Go into the game. I've never seen an animation because I always kill
Yeah, you've never
Chamberlain
seen
so
him do that.
quickly.
I've never seen him do that victory animation either.
Dude, I killed him too fast, so you could never do it.
Wait, for what?
The boss
He doesn't raise the
fighting,
roof.
he was doing like a raise the roof taunt animation that we've never seen him do.
Like, I never knew he did that. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my god. How many years has it been since I last played this game?
I have no idea. I'm surprised you haven't played it sooner. Because you're the biggest Ratchet and Clank fan I know.
Like, I've never seen this animation. Oh my god.
It's like when you're having the same reaction I had when I was streaming Metal Gear Solid 3 and I found out the hard way for the first time that in certain sections enemies can call mortar strikes on you.
Yeah, I'm like,
played that game since middle school and I've never known that.
I play Metal Gear Solid occasionally, and I didn't even know that.
Return to your old galaxy immediately.
But dude, my mind right now,
This is
I cannot
This is Roger
comprehend.
Bumpus?
This is Roger Bumpus,
guy right here?
yes.
Will happen to farewell.
Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it.
Hey there, Ratchet.
Squidward's laugh is really hard to do. I find Squidward's
My
laugh
brother
harder to
can do
than,
a flawless interpretation of Squidward. It's like scary how good he's able to do it.
Hey
I think
there,
Squidward's
Ratchet.
laugh
do
harder
Patrick
to
Star
do than,
really good.
SpongeBob's laugh.
And I can also do SpongeBob.
I actually back in the day I used to watch a lot of the Nicktoons Network, and they would always show like this behind the scenes clip of Tom Kenny recording something as SpongeBob, and in it they showed how he gets that vibrato in his SpongeBob laugh.
Yeah, he throws his hand up and down on his Adam's apple to get
Did you
that.
know I can do it without doing that?
For more battles.
I mean, I can too, but it doesn't sound as authentic.
It's like it's
Press X to open
like the people that learn how to do it with that, the people that learn how to do it without basically smacking their throat. It makes me think of like I can't remember which martial artist it was. It was Tony Jaa. Now I remember Tony Jaa, where like he learned how to do like he saw the kind of like wire fu stunts that a lot of old Hong Kong action movies had in them, and he didn't know that they were on wires, so he learned how to do them for real.
I love Tony Jaa. I heard he's really down to earth.
Tony Jaa. that the
I'm
guy-
Bok 1, 2, 3, Tong Young Gong, and I
Is that
forgot
the
the
guy-
other one.
Is that the guy that was in Dr. Kamaloa?
I haven't seen that one. He does Muay Thai.
Also, it just clicked with me that these little guys here look like Mousers from Ninja Turtles.
Oh my gosh, they do.
Yeah, they totally do. They totally do.
I never noticed that. And I'm a Ninja Turtle fan.
Yeah, there's something similar to them in the remakes.
Yeah,
forgot
it's a
what
pretty
they're-
common
what they're
enemy
called.
archetype in the Ratchet and Clank games from what I've seen. But that specific variant of it looks a lot like the Mousers.
Oh, it really looks like a Mauser. Yeah. It's kind of funny that those things are called Mausers and they look nothing like mice.
Yeah, and they don't hunt
And
mice,
there's a
they hunt
character
turtles.
in the Super Mario Super Show that is literally just a big mouse with sunglasses.
Yeah, that was a boss in Super Mario Brothers 2, which a lot of the Super Show tried to adapt like characters from.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Super Mario Super Brothers show.
Dude, like me and my brother, we memorized the Star Koopa episode from beginning to end when we were kids. We could do the whole thing, and we just had so much fun doing it.
My favorite episode is the Mama Luigi episode.
That was not the Super Show. That was the Super Mario World cartoon.
Oh, I do get them mixed up. I'm not gonna lie.
They were all made by Deke, but they had different
Yeah.
production staff and different voice
Oh, by
actors.
Dick?
Yeah, they still.
Yes,
I
by
love
Dick.
both. I love both of them, regardless. Though you know.
Like there was the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, there was The Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3, and then there was Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Dude,
oh, remember
it was
they
like-
had
and of
actual-
course there
Had
was the Zelda
mecca
cartoon.
of kids animation back in the 90s.
I need to watch the Zelda cartoon because it's been so long.
Gidley the Kid just uploaded a new video talking about like reviewing every episode of the Zelda cartoon. It's a
I'm gonna have to
weird
watch it.
adaptation because like due to like standards and practices rules about
me, princess.
it's a weird show because it has sort of the He-Man thing where like due to standards and practices rules about children's television violence, Link's not allowed to use his sword as a sword. He basically uses it as a laser gun.
I actually have to start
Oh,
working on
you know what else we need to watch? Captain N.
Oh god, Captain N.
Husband's the name and cutting's my game. Dude, it's a fever dream, but it's a fun fever dream.
Okay,
So
like
let me
Okay, like
have a question.
we all know that like in the event that there's another Mega Man crossover thing, they're gonna want to put bad box art Mega Man in there like they are wont to do. I say screw that. Instead put Captain N Mega Man in there. That'll really catch people off guard.
You know what I say that you have as a nod to like the what was it the Mega Man where you could play as different robot masters. Which one was that?
Powered up, yeah.
Have Cutman, Kung Fu Cutman,
Cutman, Kung Fu
Verse?
Cutman, and Cutsman.
Yeah.
Oh, and Dr. Wily. Just bring back Scott McNeil to voice Dr. Wily. I want to hear him again. Like no matter who voices Wily, I always imagine Scott McNeil.
Oh, remember Alucard was right? Oh, that was so weird.
Chill, Dad, dude.
Stop, you're making me laugh.
That was a
You're making me
fever dream
show
of an
my
episode,
age.
and you could tell that they didn't actually play the game because they had Sypha as a man.
Dude, you're
Not
making me
just as
show
a
my
man, but
age.
like a Merlin type wizard.
Hit the exposed rods to destroy the towers.
Oh my god.
Sorry guys, I'm just going downstairs
Oh,
because
God.
my dad's going to bed and I need to
Understandable.
talk to you guys.
We were playing some really loud 80s rock and roll.
No,
Use a lot of 80s lingo.
That bonus track from that one Weird Al album where it's just him screaming at the top of his lungs, his bandmates banging on their instruments. It's a hidden track on I think it's his Off the Deep End album, if I remember correctly. It's called Bite Me, and it was done as a prank. It was done as a prank for people that left their CD player running too long.
It sounds like a joke we would do, you know?
What is your guys' favorite Weird Al song, by the way? Mine has to be
that's
Dare
like
to Be
asking me to
Stupid.
pick my favorite child. Probably
well.
Dare to Be Stupid, but it's also a very close second is like a multi-way tie between White and Nerdy.
I love that one
Another
too.
one, Rides the Bus.
That's a good one too.
I'm
What
fat.
about
I love Rocky
Amish
Road.
Paradise?
Amish Paradise, yeah. Gum.
Yeah.
I was
that's a good one, too.
Paradise and
I Want a New Duck. I love that song.
I Want a New
That's-
Duck is
that's-
an underrated one.
Oh,
It is a really underrated one because it's
I
a
Lost on
parody
Jeopardy.
of it's a parody of I Want a New Drug by Huey Lewis and the News.
Yep.
Pretty Fly for a
the
white
saga-
guy.
The saga. Oh yeah, Pretty Fly for a Rabbi.
Yeah, that's another really underrated one. That one's
That one,
so
there you go.
funny.
Fat is one of my favorites.
That's another one. Between
that's
that
another
one,
really
I was
good one.
Paradise and Fly for a Rabbi. Those are like my three favorites if I had to pick
I'm
three.
a- I'm a-
Danny? Oy vey, oy vey!
I'm a big Weird Al fan, so like I have a lot of like
Oh, man.
I even bothered to get on the Roku streaming service so I could watch his biopic, which is a masterpiece.
What about the
And it's
Music Man parody? You're the Spider-Man.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah, his parody of Piano Man.
Yeah.
The Saga
Yeah, that's right,
Begins
it's
is
Piano
another one
Man.
of my the Saga Begins is
Vanessa
another one of my
Webb, you're
favorites.
the Spider-Man.
It's
Vanessa Webb tonight.
have you heard The Saga Begins?
Oh, that a long, long time ago, in a galaxy far away.
Oh, I remember that.
Was under an attack.
Apparently, Don McLean has actually taken to performing that instead of American Pie at concerts.
Dude, that's hilarious. I love that. Like,
I
once
love
you
that
hear
song.
Weird Al's
Hates
version, you
American Pie.
can't get it out of your head. It's
I like the American Pie
you can't
song. but I
listen to the
also
original
like-
without
yeah.
hearing his version in your head.
I like both versions honestly equally. If you, I like both so much. I really do.
I've even gotten into
Yeah.
listening to some of Weird Al's like early Dr. Demento work that never made it onto any albums. Like
I've actually never delved that deep into his career. I need to do
partly
that.
because a lot of that stuff is just lost, and he's kind of ashamed of a lot of his early work.
Oh, that's too bad.
Uh,
I mean, I
stuff
suppose
like,
that it's like what every artist kind of goes through. They listen to their old stuff and like, oh, that sounds terrible.
like he thought it like he doesn't like how it sounds because it was like recorded with really low quality equipment in a not very good recording environment, and the subject matter's kind of a bit more juvenile than his later work is.
Hey Shiba.
His early
Hey,
stuff was
Shiba.
super juvenile. Like,
But there's stuff like he has one early song in particular that he's kind of ashamed of because he feels it was too mean-spirited. Is
What's
a
that?
parody of "It's Still Rock and Roll to Me" called "It's Still Billy Joel to Me," which is basically him ranting about how all of Billy Joel's songs sound the same.
Mm.
And Billy Joel actually
okay,
likes
that's
it.
pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
There's one
I've
song
listened
of his
to-
in particular that he has made sure to bury, and there's like a Weird Al fan podcast that has gotten a recording of it, and they refuse to release it without his permission out of respect because he's so ashamed of it. It's called Orgy on My Own.
That's fair. It's called what?
Orgy on My Own. It's about getting
Ew.
drunk and masturbating to Hustler.
That's just a Tuesday.
I understand why they're hesitant to release it.
Like, he doesn't like it because it's way more explicit than his usual attempts to try and keep his humor at least like PG-13, if not lower.
But yeah, that's just a Tuesday. Wouldn't you agree?
I'll just nod my head affirmingly without going any further.
I mean,
I was
sure,
talking to
Not
chat.
to repeat myself.
I was talking to chat. So, ooh, stop.
Another one of my favorites is
It's
what is the
the
name of
Ryer
that
of the
one?
Kaiser.
Oh yeah,
that's
Theme to
that's
Rocky
another good
13.
one.
What I love about Theme to Rocky 13 is that he unintentionally predicted a plot point in Rocky 6 where Rocky does own a restaurant.
His song.
Wait, there was a Rocky 6?
Yeah, it's just
There's
called
like
Rocky
13, isn't
Balboa.
there?
No,
Oh.
there's 6 of them, and then
Oh,
there's
I haven't
the Creed
seen that one.
series.
It's a prequel to the Creed series.
No, it's like the end of the Rocky series, and then Creed takes place like way after Rocky like they all take place in the time they were made. Creed follows like a descendant of Apollo Creed from the original movies.
I thought that he was his son.
I say descendant because I haven't seen the movie, so I'm not sure if it's son or grandson.
Oh,
Those are cute.
Yeah, I love the Desert Riders. They're bikers with like they're like, they come off as really gruff and tough, but they're so sensitive and kind.
Yeah, I would love to go to the Bake Sale. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, and they're affiliated with Thugs for Less. One of my favorite things from the Thugs for Less leader is like when he's giving a speech to the thugs at one point late in the game, and he's like telling them the coordinates of where to go, and he's like, if you can't find where it is, find a buddy and he'll help you find your way there.
It reminded me of in school. It was Ask 3 before me. I hated that. I hated that thing. It's like, you're a fucking teacher if I'm asking you. Do your job.
They bring back Thugs for Less in the newest game, Rift Apart, except they've been renamed to Goons for Less.
Oh.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
I played that whole game and I didn't see that.
Like you wouldn't notice it unless you've played Going Commando, because that's the only time before Rift Apart that they've appeared. Like,
Yeah,
they're not big part of the plot. They're
like,
just
the
like
older
one of the
games
enemy
have like
groups.
really suggestive titles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What I found
Clock
out is that a lot of the
blockers.
games, including Rift Apart, had suggestive titles that were rejected by Sony because they would be too hard to censor for foreign markets. Like, Going Commando was just called Ratchet and Clank 2 in foreign markets. The third game, Up Your Arsenal, was just called Ratchet and Clank 3. There's also Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. Tools of Destruction, I think, was supposed to have a different title, but I can't remember what it was.
It was
There's Quest for Booty.
Into the Nexus.
Into the Nexus, I can't remember what its original title was supposed to be, but it was like something a bit more explicit. Oh yeah, it was Into
Something
the Nether
whole.
Regions.
Yeah, there we go. Another region. Don't forget what we call clock blockers.
A Crack in Time was supposed to be Clock Blockers. All for One was supposed to be called Foreplay.
Oh man.
And Rift Apart was originally supposed to be called Riftia a New One.
I know. Magical, right? Poetry. Poetry. Oh, a fucking tree, right? If anyone says different, they're lying. But it's poetry.
Oh man, that's too funny. Ripped you a new one.
Like, to me, it's never correct at all. It is clock blockers.
Like, the Size Matters one, it's eluded me as a kid, but, like, it took until Scott the Woz briefly covered it in an episode. He's like,
Oh, I love
also
Scott
like
the
to refer
Woz.
to it. I also like to refer to it by its alternate title, Ratchet and Clank, Your Cock is Small.
I kind of had a little mini JKR laugh.
What?
JKR has like this actor laugh that's like that, and it's actually really. I can't do it like he does it.
He has a really good, like, maniacal laugh.
Yeah, he's
Oh, you mean
really
JKR?
good at it. Yeah, he's
yeah.
really good at it. He's really good at it.
Have you guys seen my Arikado, did you see my my Joker video?
No, I have not.
Maybe later when we're done with the stream, maybe you could look it up on YouTube really quick.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, I did my own interpretation of the Joker for this video, because I'm not the biggest fan of the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. So
I don't think anyone is. Like, not even just for like how it portrays the characters, but for the fact that it's a always online live service game, even though nothing about the game needs to be always online or live service.
Yeah, I hate live
I don't
service.
like it.
It's currently on sale for 40% off, and it's only been out for about a month.
I know, and the reason I dislike it is because it disrespects the Arkham Batman so much.
Oh yeah.
We all know Arkham Batman would have destroyed the hell out of them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Like,
totally.
It's no contest.
It's a weird direction to go in for the Arkhamverse in general. Like, you would think that this would be the one that's in its own continuity and not Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is the one where you would think, oh, this would be like alternate continuity, but no, this is the follow-up to the Arkham series.
Which was a
It's
really
our
bad
introduction
decision.
to the Arkhamverse versions of the Justice League, and it's them getting killed off.
I know, and Batman would have totally found a way to like avoid everything, and like he let himself get taken over. That's not Batman. He would have found a way to counteract it and then save all of his friends, even if the odds were impossible. That's what Batman does.
The thing is, Batman has been taken over, though. I do agree with you.
He has been. Well, the thing is, he gets taken over so easily.
Yeah, I know that it was with Starro, if I'm not mistaken, was one of them.
Well, Starro is like a different issue entirely, but this was just Brainiac.
Yeah. Brainiac. Actually, no, Brainiac never been able to take over Batman. I think Brainiac actually respects. No, Brainiac respects him to an extent, if I'm not mistaken, right? Hey, Shadow Dragon.
Hey, Shadow Dragon.
Doesn't Brainiac respect Batman to an extent, if I'm not mistaken?
I will not claim to know that.
Yeah, like.
Do you know?
Out of all the humans, he thinks that he's like the closest thing to somewhat of an iota of his intelligence, but still not quite there.
Yeah, so he wouldn't take him over. He would probably challenge Batman, if anything. You're like...
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like the idea of King Shark using a gun.
Also,
if anything, he should be the melee fighter of the group.
I agree. But everyone's a gun character in that game, right?
Which makes it boring to play because it's like they're all variation on gun. They're all like everyone needs to be melee and ranged. I get
punch and gun. The game.
Why is it a looter shooter? That's what I want to know. Look, all I gotta say is
that Warner Brothers has said, like, no, we're doubling down on live services after this fiasco.
And no one wants it.
When will they ever learn?
They never
double down when you fail. You fix.
They're not even doubling down. They're like centuple, I think, at this point. They're like 6 times into it.
Yeah. It's not doubling down anymore. You're right. It's definitely six timing it.
You got to hear what they took from us. And think about it this way: they took away Batgirl from us, right? They took away because it was also confirmed, but then later canceled, that we were supposed to get a Batman Beyond movie where we were going to have Michael Keaton play old Batman. It was the fans wanted this so hard.
Dude, that could have printed money for them. That would have totally printed money for them.
Yeah, but they were like, no, we'll cancel the safe guaranteed money makers, and instead
give us Flash.
You put everything behind Flash, the one movie that everyone wanted to be canceled.
I know.
There was
Honestly,
another movie.
There are parts of that movie that I don't mind. I do like it to an extent, but for the most part, I agree with everyone on it that it's not a good movie. It's emotionally like really great in some parts, like all the parts where Barry is interacting with his mom. They are done actually really well. Like I really did like the movie because of those emotional scenes, and just Barry realizing after he loses his powers that he's not in control anymore. And it's like I actually like the older Barry much better than the younger Barry, because obviously we're not supposed to like the younger Barry until later. But
yeah,
and even then I still don't like younger Barry even after he does kind of like wake up. I still don't like him, but
the best way that I've heard a lot of the Flash movies problems summed up was a friend of mine, Mistress Dove, who once again I'm shilling for because everyone should check out her reviews and her streams. But she was like, they could have given us a team up between the DCEU Flash and the Arrowverse Flash that people actually like, but instead we get 2 of the Flash that nobody likes.
Yeah,
I call it double bash.
Dude, I would have loved Grant Gustin as even as the Flash that does betray. That still would have been a great Flash. I because they basically just did the Savitar thing from season 3 all over again. In that movie, like if you've watched Arrowverse Flash, like
I haven't
they
seen
basically
anything from Arrowverse. I also haven't seen anything from the DC.
Wait, you could do this?
Yeah, CW.
Yep, you get a skill point for
they
it.
They basically
Dude, I
copied
just
season
picked the
3
thing up
of
and crushed
CW
everything.
Flash for the end of that movie.
I didn't know
That's
you could
basically
do
what they
this. I just picked the thing up and crushed everything. I didn't know you could do this.
I'm teaching
In
you new
season
things
3
unintentionally, aren't I?
On a game I've played hundreds of times. What the hell?
But yeah, there's a skill point for this.
You blew my mind. Wait, Brainy, I forgot that the Brainy turned to the Flash kill Justice League. I completely forgot about that. What I was thinking about was when Luthor took over the Flash and was like, I have no idea who this is.
That was a great line because it's like, yeah, obviously nobody knows who Wally West is at that point, like, because I mean, everyone else in the Justice League,
Everyone else in the Justice League is like some sort of big, like some recognizable figure. Wally West is just some dude.
yeah. He's just a CSI officer. That's all he is at that point. And because I think he took over at like the same job that Barry did after he died. That's what Wally did.
It's hard to tell in terms of
but I'm not
the
sure.
DC animated universe because we didn't really get Barry in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Wally, but the thing is, they also mixed a few of the Flashes up in that.
Yeah, they sort of mixed like it was technically Wally, but it was sort of a composite of multiple Flashes in terms of
the Superman the animated series version of him, like a lot of people speculate that was Barry. A lot of people speculate that was him from the from the one episode that he shows up in Superman the animated series.
So it's funny you bring that up right now because you just reminded me. I was talking to someone on Twitter and they were talking about it, and I even said I even admitted I'm not a Superman fan, right? I'm not.
I like the DC. I like the Justice League version. Like the Tim.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bruce Timm version of him is my favorite version. I don't like a lot of the other versions. Like I like Superman Returns because that movie is so memeable. But
yeah,
and I thought Brandon Routh was a fantastic choice for Superman, and he was wasted on that movie.
Yeah, but
just like how Henry Cavill was also wasted on Man of Steel.
But yeah, the funny thing is we were talking about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I even said, like, besides the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, right? Because those are my favorites.
Yeah,
I can actually sit down and thoroughly enjoy the animated series by itself. You know, it's written that well.
Yeah, because
and they agree with me. They said like you cannot like Superman at all, but even to sit down and just have a good watch, you know.
I would say that the Bruce Timm version of Superman is the most enjoyable version because he's a big blue Boy Scout, but he's also got a lot of flaws about him. Like he has hot-headed moments in like season 2 from on. What?
He's the most down-to-earth adaptation of Superman that
I agree. He's like the most relatable version. Like out of every Superman interpretation I've ever seen, he's the most relatable.
I still need to see My Friend Superman. I still gotta see that one with the really hot Lois Lane.
Oh, are you talking about
the current series that's airing on Adult Swim?
Yeah, I need to see that one because I hear
My
a lot.
Adventures with
I
Superman.
love her.
Oh,
I love
My
her
Adventures with
design.
Superman. Yeah, I watched the whole series. It's actually really good.
I haven't
It's-
seen it.
That's
but I
another
love
version of
Lois Lane
Superman I
design.
really like too.
With Lois Lane design. I love it.
Oh yes.
Like
It is so good.
Like
Yes.
I'm not the biggest Superman fan. I don't dislike Superman. I just find that he's a very easy character to screw up in adaptation.
He is. I think that they did
Like-
really good in My Adventures with Superman. I think that they did a really good job with him.
Like my problem with a lot of Superman adaptations is that they play too much on the angle of like, oh, he's a god amongst men rather than focusing on his more human characteristics.
So
Because he's supposed to be raised. He was supposed to have been raised in Kansas. He doesn't have a god complex. He's very humble.
Yeah.
Like I agree. Like a lot of the time, whenever they put him in movies, like I think that the only movie series that he was like characterized perfectly in was in the 70s ones.
Yeah,
I think that they did a really good
Superman
job with
4
him
is
in
a
that.
different issue entirely.
Well, I've only seen the first two. I haven't seen the other ones.
I
so
haven't
wouldn't
seen
know.
any of the old Superman movies, but I know from reputation that Superman 4 is considered one of the worst movies ever made. And
Only because it's just like the worst. I think it was in like
it was made by a completely different studio.
production
than
hell. Yeah.
It was made by a different, like, the first 3 movies were, I believe it was Warner Brothers, or it might have been some other company that merged with Warner Brothers later. Also, the only time we used the lifter bot in the whole game is right
just
here.
a quick thing also about this. When the bots die and everything, this is a lot more friendlier compared to the first game.
Yeah,
how they respawn.
they like automatically run back to where you are instead of you having to go back and fetch them.
Yeah, or where you're in the other room, there's a little transporter. So
Yeah.
it's a lot more friendly. And you can turn around, you see it coming right behind you.
Yeah, like he's right there. But Superman 4, like the first 3 movies were, like I said, like either Warner Brothers or like a subsidiary that got folded into Warner Brothers at some point. Superman 4 was Canon Films, who's known for like schlocky action movies.
Oh, did they do the Supergirl movie as well?
I don't think they did.
I
But
don't
when I
think
say
they
Canon
did.
Films, they're known for stuff like Death Wish and like Chuck Norris's movies.
You said
Oh,
Death Wish. I
no.
was thinking of Death Sandwich from Mordecai and Rigby, regular show. Fist of Death. There we go. That and a Fist of Death. Like one Fist of Death, 2 Fists
Like,
of Death.
Like imagine the studio that gave us Chuck Norris making a Superman movie, and you know exactly why it turned out bad.
I would
Wait,
rather
what?
have the studio that did Second Gothic Lolita make a Superman movie.
Well, yeah, because that would be low budget too, but they would know how to work with their low budget.
Actually, I take that back. Okay, you know what supervillain I would love, like kind of movie I would love to see them do?
What?
They need a character that's funny, right? A character, not even funny. It's something they can have fun with. So
I
let's
mean,
give
that's
them.
what-
Don't say Joker.
That's what they tried to do with Superman 3 by having Richard Pryor as a comedy sidekick.
Oh God, don't remind me. A character I could see them having fun with, right?
Mr. Mixie-Spitlick.
Yes. I could see them having a very, very fun time with that character.
Problem is, historically, he's been voiced by Gilbert Gottfried, so they would
And
have to
he's
find
dead.
someone new to play him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they could find some. They
I mean,
could find
yeah, they
some
could Like I hate
impersonator to
this,
do it.
I hate to say this, they could easily find someone to take over the role because it's not like it has to be Gilbert Gottfried. It's just he was such a good fit for Mr. Mixie-Spitlick.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, he really was.
What's another character? Oh, what's that
Iago?
character? The Toy Man, right?
Oh yeah.
That's another
Toy Man,
character
yeah.
I could see them having fun with.
Superman, go bye bye.
Okay, you want to know one of my speaking of kind of jokey DC Comics villains, you want to know what made me even though I haven't seen the Batman, you know what made me respect Robert Pattinson's taste in Batman stuff? He said that his favorite Batman member of Batman's Rogues Gallery is the Condiment King.
Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely a take. Yeah, because he was like mostly characterized as a jokey villain, but then there was like one comics run where they actually like took him seriously, and he was actually kind of terrifying. I don't remember the name of the run, but yeah,
I love when
Condiment King.
DC takes like these gag characters and manages to make them a legit threat, like what they did with Calendar Man in the Arkhamverse.
Or the Spot in Spider-Man.
Yeah,
kind of like that.
Or like what they've been not necessarily making them. This is a case of making them like, you know, a dark and serious threat, but doing something interesting with them is like what the recent stuff that they've been trying to do with Kite Man.
I got another one that's interesting for that studio to get. The Trickster. It took me a minute.
But when are we going to get when are we going to get a new Guardians movie with everyone's favorite cocaine-powered supervillain, Snowflame?
Oh God, no.
You don't know about Snowflame? Oh, no! I need to send you an hour-long video essay about Snowflame.
No!
There was a very short-run comic series from DC in the 80s called The New Guardians that was supposed to be trying to tackle like societal issues of the era using a superhero team of like multi-ethnic members. And in their second ever issue, which was the follow-up to the first issue where they fight against an AIDS vampire called the Hemogoblin. They go to a South American country that's run by a cocaine-powered supervillain with like psychic pyrokinesis powers. No! And the ability to get people high through touch, named Snowflame. Snowflame.
Why you do this to me?
And they brought him back in more recent years in a Catwoman run, where they play him as like straight out of the 80s.
You hurt me. You hurt. You're tearing us apart, Lisa.
Okay, but Snowflame's awesome. He's overpowered.
I did not hit her. It is bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. But, yeah, Snowflame's kind of overpowered because he has an immunity to, like, pretty much everything as long as he's high.
Oh, God.
Because he can't feel anything?
Yes. And, like I said, he can give you a contact high just by touching you.
Mr. Bad Touch.
The cheese touch.
Welcome back, JKR.
He has a private military.
Oh, dude.
Is he freaking Bane?
Bane also. I mean, he's not too dissimilar from Bane when you think about it, except he also has pyrokinesis.
Yeah, because the thing is, Bane also has a private military, which is kind of hilarious.
A private military and a drug addiction.
Yeah. Yo, let's face it, they would be friends. You know that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because Venom is like it's a performance enhancing drug, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
And he has like a pump, just pumping it into his bloodstream all the time.
Yeah, that doesn't do his
like
bloodstream, but also into like his actual freaking bones.
I know.
Dude, oh my gosh, you just gave me, oh my god, bruh, him on Venom would be terrifying.
Bane versus Snowflame when? DC's too cowardly to give us something that amazing. They had to nerf Snowflame in his crossover with Catwoman just so she could win that fight.
Dude, hear me out on this.
Like, the way she wins that fight isn't even by, like, you know, using his addiction to cocaine against him. It was by injecting him with an antidote that kills his buzz.
That's weak.
And then he gets mauled by a panther.
So lame.
So hear me out on this, okay?
Even in his only appearance in the New Guardians comic, he still has a better way of going out than that, which is that they throw him into a cocaine production shed and it explodes in a huge fireball of death.
Hear me out on this, right? If you give Snowflame venom, he would be, dude. Only Superman tier or Wonder Woman tier characters could take him down.
I don't know what this character is like, so
There's
other
an
than what you've told me, so
video essay. You know Hugbees? The YouTuber Hugbees. He made the How It's
I've heard of him.
Made
I've never
series.
watched any of his stuff.
He made an hour-long video essay about why Snowflame is one of the best comic book supervillains ever.
All right, you need to send it to me because
I will after stream because it's amazing. He also does some really good, like, choice of background music for whenever Snowflame is, like, you know, amped up on cocaine. He starts playing like speed metal in the background.
You need to show him. You know what you need to show him? That video you showed me.
The most recent Hugbees video where he talks about the Duck Dodgers crossover with Megadeth.
No, the thing he did
the video
with
he did about Lunatics Unleashed.
No, but I did a clip. Is it why does little guy a tiny booty? Why does little guy a tiny booty?
Before, I think I watched his video on. Oh wait, no, I think it was the Watchtower that I watched his video on.
The math
like
ones
Hugbees is not serious about his analysis. It's like for comedy.
Dude, the math one.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, turning a sphere outside in. Yeah, because there's a lot of Jak and Daxter references in the Ratchet and Clank series because Naughty Dog helped along with development of the first game, and Insomniac and Naughty Dog shared an office building at that time.
Huh.
Cool. Also, this game console right here, you see right here, the Insomniac game pyramid?
Yeah.
Which you can destroy to get some bolts. Fun fact, in earlier drafts of the game, that was supposed to be a PS2. It had to be changed because Sony has a strict clause in all of their first-party titles, or just titles on their platforms, that you are not allowed to have a representation of PlayStation game console hardware that you're allowed to vandalize.
Ooh.
And then they were like, okay, we'll make it an Xbox that you can destroy. No, we also have a clause that says you're not allowed to depict competitors' hardware in PlayStation games.
And so they had to make up their own.
They had to make up their own game console that you're allowed to destroy. It's the most
I'm getting
petty
flashbacks.
thing.
I'm getting flashbacks to the math one.
Yeah, turning a sphere outside in is what it's called. And it's a like narration. It's a narration about like how geometrically you can turn a sphere inside out. And then it devolves into some very serious drama.
You definitely watch that one with Ari when you get a chance.
I like watching it with people for their first time just to get their live reactions to the plot twists.
Yeah. That's the one I request that as a friend, right? I request you watch that one with Ari.
Okay.
Like if you happen to see it, just ignore it until you watch it with Ari. It's an experience.
It's got more plot twists than M. Night Shyamalan movie.
with a twist. All I gotta say is this: you learned how to visually turn a sphere inside out or right side it. What is it?
Outside In is the name of the
Outside
video.
In. It is life changing.
Yeah, it'll certainly change your perspective on geometry.
Yes, it will open not just your third eye, but your fourth eye, fifth eye, sixth eye. I will probably say up to your
What the
42nd
fuck?
eye. Yeah, it'll open up all 64 eyes.
Oh,
so you
your
can view
chakra
things in
points will be
64
awakened.
bits.
The N64 has never
bits,
seen
32 bits, 16 bits. My favorite one of those 64 bits angry video game nerd memes I've seen was one where, like, once he gets to the Risk game, like, they render it in the style of a Tiger Electronics Risk game.
Oh god.
dude, did you guys ever see the remember when he did the board games videos?
Yeah, Board James.
Some of those, dude,
Board
some of those
James,
games
yeah.
I wanted, honestly.
Like the one where it was like the VHS with like the really weird narration and like explanation of how the game worked.
Oh god, I can't remember what the name of that game was, but I know what you're talking about. The
Yeah,
one where it's
that
sort of
video
like,
was
it's sort
so
of like
funny.
It's like a D&D type game, but it's like pre-made adventures.
Dude, I want that. I want that videotape just to watch over and over again because that guy just like his acting is like so bad, but it's so entertaining. I love it. It's so fun.
Mr. Bucket,
Like, I love
balls in my mouth.
And like, what was the game with like the metal balls and like he had his friend Mike on there, motherfucker Mike.
Yo, I had Crossfire growing up. I love Crossfire growing up. I never really had anyone to play with it though.
Dude, I remember seeing commercials. I remember seeing commercials like for similar things like that on TV when I was a kid. Like, I don't think it was that specifically, but it was like something similar.
Yo, I just
there are a
didn't get
lot of games
Crossfire
like,
again
with that kind of mechanic to it. But the specific game he was reviewing was called Crossfire.
I had that growing up, and it was so much fun, dude. If I happen to get Crossfire again, like I will actually try and buy it and find it again. Me, you, JKR, Chuck, we got to do a video for it.
I can't look at the Lupin Louie episode the same way ever again after one of Vinny's streams where he looked at one of his commercial chaos streams where Vinny was kindly pointed out that the Lupin Louie board has an unfortunate shape to it.
Isn't Lupin Louie the one with the snot?
No, Lupin Louie's the one with the airplane that that's motorized and it like flies around the board on a post.
So what's game am I thinking about that had the guy with the snot and the brain surgery?
I don't know.
Look.
But like the Lupin, what I'm saying about the Lupin Louie board is like someone told Vinny to rewind and look at the aerial view of the Lupin Louie board, and it's in the shape of a swastika.
Oh no! Oh no! No! Oh no! That is super unfortunate. Ooh.
I mean, if you just like turn it a little bit more, it's just a.
If you turn it a little bit more, it's a manji instead of a swastika.
Yeah. Tell it to Twitter though. Tell it to Twitter and Tumblr. I think I'm gonna get canceled, ain't I?
Oh no!
Here's the thing about cancel culture: it doesn't exist because people always come back from it. Because the internet always forgets shit really quickly.
Yeah, it's literally got the brain the size of a fruit fly.
Oh, I was
But
being
also,
nice.
there are people that will hold on to grudges for years.
Oh, I hold on. I have some grudges, but they're like reasonable. One is not reasonable, and that was either a failing grade or a C I got because someone would not listen for a class project.
I have a grudge against the voice actor. Fuck, why am I forgetting his name? Bryce Pappenbrook. That is entirely petty, and I'm aware that's petty, and I'm holding on to that grudge as a self-aware joke.
Why?
Which is it's due to the fact that I went to an anime convention, partly for fun and partly to host a panel on making a bridge series back when I was making my old Digimon Frontier bridge series, which has since been erased from YouTube. That panel didn't go the way I planned because it was in the same room that Bryce Pappenbrook was hosting his panel. And it was right after his, and he went over time by about 15 to 20 minutes and would not stop when they were telling him wrap it up. So my panel, they didn't give me extra time. So I know it's not Bryce Pappenbrook's fault. He was excited to be amongst his peers. I don't really hold it against him. But jokingly, I say, curse you, Bryce Pappenbrook. When I see you in person,
Okay.
I'm going to make you autograph a copy of Aiken, the first anime dub that you were ever in, where you went...
Please do that.
No, he
Do
was
it.
in that?
Do it.
He was the
Do
main
it.
character, and he went under
Do
the
it.
pseudonym Dick Smallberries.
Do it.
Oh.
He was 18 years old at the time, and he does not list it on his resume.
Oh wow, that's rude, Ratchet. That is so fresh.
So this is where,
Dude.
one of my favorite game mechanics that a game can have is old save bonuses. And all three of the PS2 Ratchet and Clank games, I don't know if Deadlocked has it, but the main trilogy
They don't.
have them. If you have a Ratchet and Clank 1 save file, you can get certain Ratchet and Clank 1 weapons for free.
The only one worth a damn is the Rhino.
Yeah, but thanks for spooping me with the barrage.
So we're
I
gonna
didn't
have
get
a
the
1 million
Rhino
bolt
on my Ratchet and Clank 1 save file, so I can't get the Rhino 2 for free.
Yeah.
The Ratchet and Clank 1 weapons are not very good, apart from the Rhino 2, because you just get the game's best weapon for free.
I think you still had to pay for it, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's you either get it for free or you get massively discounted.
If it's massively discounted, it's 100,000 bolts, I think.
Okay, because normally you have to pay, like you saw, $1 million.
Hold on a sec, guys. I'll be
bolts
right
for
back.
it. I'm not surprised that they don't give it to you for free. That would be a bit too generous to just give away the game-breaking weapon for free. I also find it funny that I find it funny that the Rhino is cheaper than the one that they hype up as the game-breaking weapon, the Zodiac, but nobody likes the Zodiac.
Yeah, I mean, heck, the bouncer is more OP.
The bouncer's comically OP.
Yeah, the bouncer is so much fun to use, though.
Also, you should totally check out Some Call Me Johnny's Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, that was
reviews.
so rude, Ratchet.
You should check out Some Call Me Johnny's Ratchet and Clank reviews, because whenever he talks about the bouncer, he replaces it with the sound clip from the opening of the Bouncer video game for PS2. You know, the Bouncer.
I actually like that game. I am a very small minority that actually thoroughly enjoyed that game.
Like, the people that don't like it seem to not like it because it's really short and it's not much of like a big leap in terms of like what the PS2 could offer compared to the PS1. It's more so like people were expecting more for when it came out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a launch title. Calm down.
Like, launch titles are almost never like the best that a console has to offer. They're more so tech demos.
Yeah, for
had to
welcome
drain
back.
the lizard.
So, like, for like I said, for a launch game, right? A launch title, it was decent. It was fun.
Like I haven't played the Bouncer, but I've played some bad launch title PlayStation games. Hell, I've played Knack. That was the first PS4 game I got, and was that a solid 4 out of 10? Not terrible, but just absolutely mediocre.
I got the game, and it's just like, eh. I had more fun playing Bubsy.
It's not like broken or glitchy or like mechanically it functions.
Yeah.
But there's just nothing. It's so dull. Like the only thing interesting about it is like, ooh, look at all the particle effects.
It's a game of all time.
And it's weird thinking that it was from Mark Cerny, who's had a hand in so many iconic platformer games, including Ratchet and Clank. And Crash Bandicoot and Sonic 2.
Are we just talking about like really boring games that we played as kids?
No, I was we were talking a little bit about a PS2 launch game called The Bouncer. And I was using Knack as an example of like, you know, how launch games don't always showcase the best of what the hardware can do.
Yeah,
fair
Because
enough.
The Bouncer has gotten a reputation as like a really bad PS2 launch title when it's like, calm down, most launch titles are not all that great.
I didn't play Knack 2. I played the first one.
Nintendo's launch titles are always pretty much bangers.
No one played Knack 2. That's part of the joke. No one played Knack 2 because there was nothing to warrant a Knack 2.
You know what I got a knack for?
Like the entire joke about Knack, the entire joke with Donkey about Knack being the best game ever, is that no one liked Knack. So it was ironic, and they decided, oh, it seems like there is a market for Knack 2. Let us make a Knack 2. And then no one bought it.
They didn't have a knack for Knack.
Like the weirdest thing about Knack to me is that
making Knack in the first place.
Like the weirdest thing about Knack to me is that he only talks when he's in his big form. And it's like, you would expect the cutesy platformer mascot to have kind of a cutesy voice, but no, he sounds like fucking Keith David or something.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna look this up. I've never heard of Knack.
It was a PS4 launch title that they were really banking on as being a system seller, and it was like one of the worst reviewed PS4 launch titles. Not because it's like mechanically broken or anything or glitchy. It's just
PS4?
Yeah, PS4.
Okay.
Like it's just not a fun game. It's very bland.
Is it Knack?
Yes.
I think I found it. Yeah.
Great racing, buddy. Here, take this.
I actually got Knack 2, by the way. I just haven't played it yet because I feel like that would be dignifying it.
Attention all thugs for less employees.
So you could be the first
best
person?
character.
All the choochie bars in the break room. Better quit stuffing his face. Around. Hey, turn those lights off. It's bad feng shui.
Is that Tom Kenny?
No, it's Steve Bloom.
And listen up, knuckleheads. The Felsen system in sector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're no good with numbers, find a buddy to help you. Lastly,
Whistle went to sector 12,550.
don't forget to bring your own juice this time. Hey, I saw that.
140.
Turn yourself right up. Don't worry, the boss only yells because
It's kind of weird that my Wheeljack kind of sounds like this, like this guy.
Okay, so what you're saying is we could both picture Steve Bloom voicing Wheeljack at some point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did play Wheeljack in the Bumblebee movie.
That's right. I keep forgetting.
You just gave me an idea.
I keep forgetting because so many of those characters have like one line of dialogue.
Hear me out,
movie?
okay?
Yeah.
Hear me
It's
out.
true.
Hear me out. Thugs for Less guy with Wheeljack on the shoulder. I mean,
Wait, what?
I meant to say
You
the
mean
Thankful
on
Less guy.
Wheeljack's shoulder.
Yeah.
And they're both voiced by Steve Bloom. And
then
on,
also has
on one
Spike.
shoulder, it's Thugs for Less guy. Like, it's the devil and angel thing. The devil is Thugs for Less guy. The angel is Guilmon.
Yes! Yeah!
And they're all voiced by Steve Bloom.
Guilmon?
Guilmon from the 3rd season of Digimon Tamers. Was
I never
voiced by
watched
Steve
Digimon.
Bloom.
I'm going to have to learn how to sew, ain't I?
It's Steve Bloom really going out of his, like, he has a good range. It's just that people usually only ask him to do the one voice.
Like the gruff voice.
Like the gruff voice where he does this all the
Whereas
time.
his Guilmon voice is more like a Takato-man. Can I have some bread?
I can't do it.
Takato-man.
You know what I should totally
he usually
do?
does a voice like this.
You know what I should totally do if I learn how to sew?
The game crashed.
Oh, that's fun.
What?
But yeah, you know what I should totally do? Learn how to sew. Make that 3-tier plushie, right? And then give it to him.
All right. Since it is getting late and the game has crashed, we're going to call it a night
Bandicoot.
here. Not Bandicoot. Lombax.
It won't be
Bandabacks.
Sorry.
Let's see if there are any raid targets tonight.
Sorry, Robert.
No one in particular. Unless anyone decides that they want to redeem a Guide the Raid.
One moment. There we go.
That's not what I was talking about, you fuck.
I am the fuck.
No!
So yeah, that looks like it's gonna be it for the night. Thank you to everyone who joined. Sorry that it had to end this way, but that's old hardware for you.
Yep.
I'll see you guys next time. I'll post an updated schedule and probably tomorrow. Until then, unpleasant dreams.
I am the
Here's the
fuck.
part where JKR would usually sing the outro from Svengoolie, but since he is not here, he's going to sing in the chat. Okay, let's wait for it. Wait for it. We're not actually gonna wait for it. Bye, guys.